Hey everybody, it's Dustin, and just last week we had Horizon Zero Dawn release on the PC. This was a particularly interesting release just because this was a Sony first-party game being put onto Steam and also the Epic Games Store. And it's important to note that Sony has published other games on PC, just specifically not from their first party. For example, both Helldivers and Everybody's Gone to the Rapture were second-party releases that they put out. In certain scenarios, though, certain games were pushed off to other publishers for their PC release. For example, Journey and all of the other That Game Company games that were originally released on PlayStation were then released by Annapurna Interactive on PC. In the case of Quantic Dream, they actually went and self-published their three games, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human. And of course, probably the most notable recent release other than Horizon would be Death Stranding. Kojima Productions actually partnered with 505 Games on this one. And this is purely speculation, but I think the fact that Death Stranding came to PC is the reason why we have Horizon on PC. Both of them use the Decima engine created by Guerrilla Games, and so you have to imagine that there was some synergy going on between the two companies in order to get Death Stranding on PC. So the big question is, why would Sony want to take its most valuable asset, its first-party IP, and put it on a platform other than its own? And let me be clear, the reason right off the bat is, of course,
we're not just doing this for money. We're doing it for a shitload of money.
Other than that, I think there are actually some other strategic reasons on why Sony would want to do this. With the upcoming release of the PlayStation 5, all eyes are on these new consoles. And a lot of consumers are at this time looking at these consoles and trying to decide which ones they want to buy. And while of course PC gamers are perfectly happy in their utopia of perfect frame rates and driver updates and many PC gamers might be looking at some of these consoles and thinking that it might be nice to have something in the living room or just something in addition to what they already have. One of the core ways that they could get PC gamers interested in buying their new console is to get them invested in a franchise. And I think Horizon fits the bill perfectly for this. It's already extracted pretty much all the profit that it can get on the PlayStation 4, and it seems like potentially a lot of the work to get Decima in a stable point on PC has already been done with Death Stranding. And where it all comes together is the fact that they have a new Horizon game coming exclusively to PlayStation 5. So, release Horizon on PC and get the PC gamers hooked and interested in the franchise, and then maybe they'll want to come over and buy the game on PlayStation 5, thus also buying a PlayStation 5 console. So despite whatever Sony's intentions may be, it is really exciting that these games are coming to PC in the first place. It introduces all new players to some of these awesome games. It unlocks the potential for the games to run at their absolute best with high frame rates and high resolution. And it preserves the games and can scale with the future. So when newer and better graphics cards comes out, the game will be able to run even better. So now that we've laid out some of the groundwork on maybe why Sony is releasing these games on PC, I wanted to theorize about what games could be coming next to the platform. But there's a lot of factors at play to consider. How difficult would it be to move the game over? How well would it sell on PC? Can we use the PC release as a marketing tool for the next game on PS5? Do we want to give up the exclusivity of the game on the PlayStation 4? These are all things that Sony must consider, and that's why I don't think we're going to get a flood of every first-party game on PC. So let's talk a little bit about the games that I think would make good candidates based on those factors. First up is 2018's God of War. This one seems to be on people's minds since there has been rumors that this game could be coming sooner than we think. Regardless of if the rumors are true or not, the creator of the game himself, Cory Barlog, has said that he would love to see the game on PC. In this tweet here, someone asked if it was time for God of War to be playable on native PC. Cory replied, "You know, I would love that. It is, sadly, a decision far above my pay grade. As it is proven on a daily basis, I am no Kojima." So while this tweet is no confirmation about God of War potentially coming to PC, it's at least nice to know that there are people on the inside that would like to see this happen as well. I don't think it's necessarily in the near future, but it would make sense that around the time God of War 2 is announced to put this game on PC. Hopefully it would have the same situation where PC gamers might play it, get hooked, and then want to play the sequel on PlayStation 5, as I mentioned earlier. On a personal level, I want to see this game because the performance mode on PS4 Pro was very good in that it was a higher frame rate than the standard 30, but seeing this game at a full 4K 60 would just be incredible. This next one may be a bit of a surprise, but I really feel like Days Gone would be really interesting to release on PC. So as you know, Days Gone was met with a bit of a mixed reception on the PlayStation 4. And as I mentioned on my last episode of SideQuest, it was clear that performance was a big part of those reviews. It's clear that Sony Bend has something with Days Gone. It was the best-selling PS4 exclusive on PSN in 2019, and it made the top 10 best-selling digital games of the year. So it might be a really good way to clear the air to get people excited about this game again by pushing it over to the PC. With a strategic launch, making sure that it's well optimized, it may bring in some people who saw the early reviews and turned the other way and maybe want to give it a second look. In a somewhat similar case, my next suggestion would be Dreams. Dreams has been a bit of a mixed bag for Sony. It spent years and years in development, released to a somewhat middling early access, and then finally doing its full release, only to some light sales. Despite the sales, Dreams was a critical success, scoring a 90 top critic average on OpenCritic.com. Media Molecule has continually added to the game with new features such as the VR support, and there is a small but strong community making content for this game. And while some of the results that we see in the game itself may be impressive, I'm positive that Sony is looking at the game and thinking, how can we try to extract more money out of this product? This type of game with a creator focused with its own toolset and ability to create and share levels is perfect for PC. I feel like releasing it on the platform would breathe new life into it. I think it would add to the validity of the toolset. You have to imagine that there are lots of potential game makers out there that would maybe want to experiment with that, but wouldn't see the value in creating a game within a tool on a console. And who knows, releasing Dreams may even expand on the possibilities of the toolset itself. Having access to a mouse and keyboard would be huge as far as the creation. In addition, you may be able to get more in depth with different coding or logic. Maybe even an export feature would be possible. Regardless of all those things, you have to imagine that Dreams is high on the list of potential games that Sony would want to bring to the computer. Okay, so for the next to last one, I'm gonna have to say The Last of Us Remastered. And this one I think is pretty plain and simple. Releasing this game on PC would be a huge sales success. There are certain games that just have a legendary status that people will flock to it on a new platform, no matter what. Beyond the pure profit that they would reap from releasing this game on PC, it might have a nice little boost to The Last of Us Part 2 on PlayStation 4 also. And this could set up nicely if Naughty Dog does decide to do a Part 3. You would have the first one already out, people have played it, bought it, enjoyed it, and when Part 3 gets announced, it might be time to put Part 2 on PC. As I said before, I think the biggest thing about this one is just the pure amount of money. They could release it, charge $39.99, and I'm confident it would instantly shoot to the top of the Steam charts. Alright, last but not least, I saved the best for last, of course. Bloodborne on PC would be incredible. Bloodborne is one of the most beloved games on the PlayStation 4, and it has sat dormant for a long time. It never got PS4 Pro support, and there's still technical issues in the game to this day. Despite that though, this game is still gorgeous, and it's one of the best examples about how art style can make a game shine regardless of its technical aspects. Currently, the PlayStation 4 version is riddled with frame pacing issues and poor frame rates in general, plus it's stuck at a 1080p resolution. With a new release on PC, you could easily iron out a lot of these technical issues in order to run the game at high resolution, high frame rates. And you really could unlock the full potential of how great this game could look. From Software already has a proven track record of selling like crazy on the PC, whether it's Sekiro or it's the Dark Souls series. There are tons of PC gamers that are itching, I'm sure, to play this game. I'm sure there's also tons of people that are like me that played the game on PlayStation 4 and would love to play it again without all the technical issues plaguing the original game. And so here we are at the end of the video, and you're probably wondering why I didn't pick the game that you want to come to PC. For example, Spider-Man or maybe Ratchet & Clank, and honestly, I think both of those and other PS4 exclusives may be possibilities. While I don't think Spider-Man is impossible, I'm guessing Sony is holding that one a little bit closer to the chest right now, since there are rumors that Miles Morales may have some kind of remastered version of the original game or something along those lines coming for PlayStation 5. Basically, these are the ones that just make sense to me. So this is where I turn it to you. What game do you think Sony should release on the PC next? Let us know down in the comments below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to get side quests every week, and we'll see you next time.